Okay, good evening, everyone. My name's Aaron Sanders, and I'm an independent consultant and district manager for Arbonne International. Thrilled to welcome you to our first monthly DA for Men, Arbonne for Men meeting. And I'm just very excited about the direction that Arbonne's taking, and we're globalizing, and we're also diversifying, and that includes bringing in more men to the company. So more and more of us are showing up. And so I wanted to put together a group where we can support each other and discuss ways that we can grow this part of our businesses. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit about the company. Give me one second here. So I never thought I would do something like Arbonne, and I'm sure I'm not alone. All I ever wanted to be was an English professor and a novelist. And as you might imagine, that took me some time. I did 2 master's degrees along the way and a PhD in English literature. And then I went on the job market and ended up in a place I'd never heard of, which isn't uncommon for academia, a place called Columbus, Georgia. And I worked at Columbus State University. It was early on everything I hoped it would be. I loved the fall when the students would come back onto campus, and the smell of the leaves in the air, and the excitement and the energy. And I loved the way the classes reset every 15 weeks, and how I could shape my own curriculum and study the books that I wanted to study while teaching these students. And it was just very satisfying. I also kept writing fiction. I'm a novelist, and I was working very hard to get my first novel published. That all came together around year 8. I got tenure. I published my first novel with Penguin Random House. It's called Speakers of the Dead, and I went on book tour. And I had sort of been operating under the assumption that if I did everything I was asked to do, and if I did everything that they asked me to do, that they would reward me in kind. And so I went on this book tour. I continued to teach 3 courses while I was away. It was very hectic, and I just felt like I was starting to break a little bit, but I was holding out for this raise that my colleagues had said I would get after I got back from the book tour. So it was after the book tour, and I was in the dean's office asking for a raise. And I still remember, he smiled at me, and he looked on his computer at an Excel spreadsheet that showed all the faculty salaries. And he said, "Let's see what you make." And when he saw the number, he said, "Boy, that is low." And I said, "So we're going to make this right?" And he said, "Well, you see, Aaron, the thing about the university budget is," and then he went on this long, boring explanation as to why I was not going to get the raise. So it was a moment for me. I had the job of my dreams. Had the novel published by a big New York publisher. I had just been on the successful book tour. I mean, I could make a list of things that I had gotten, but I was not being rewarded for my efforts financially. And the work was increasing, and it was starting to really affect me. I still remember I got this really tight feeling in my chest. And I still do when I think about it, because I learned that if I'm not being paid what I'm worth, it's a real problem for me. And I had this moment where I was like, well, what's my life going to be like 5 years, 10 years, or when I retire? And I could see it spread out before me. And those same things which I loved about academia, the students returning in the fall, so on and so forth, were now like an albatross around my neck. And I couldn't stand it. And so I quit. I didn't do it one day. I mean, I thought about it for a year, and then I quit and I moved to Los Angeles because I wanted to pursue my writing more seriously. I also knew that I needed another income stream. I didn't know what that was at the time. I thought that if I got close to the movie business or the TV business, that might be something that would, fulfill me. Um, I rented an Airbnb room from a gorgeous, smart, talented woman named Linda Balaban, and she immediately gave me an RE9 Deluxe Try-Me set. Um, I didn't know what this was. I used eye cream for the first time. I asked her what this Arbonne business thing was all about. She wouldn't tell me. She was coy. I asked again, and she took me to a meeting. I heard Joyce Lipinski and Claire Rizzoli speak, and I still remember Claire Rizzoli said that she worries about a lot of things, but money is not one of them anymore. And when we got into the car, I told Linda that if she didn't let me join her business, I would find somebody who would. So what was it about that meeting that was a turning point for me? Well, I'm going to tell you. Let me share my screen here. So this should be a presentation. So if it's not, somebody let me know. Okay, well, Arbonne is a 38-year-old, $500 million company. It's a mobile global e-franchise business opportunity. We offer vegan, health, wellness, beauty, grooming, and skincare products. And these are premium products at department store prices. As I said, we're growing at a really exciting pace. We're in 7 markets right now: the US, UK, Canada, Australia, Poland, New Zealand, and Taiwan. And we're in the process of expanding to Germany. We're also a diverse company, as I said, and our consultants are growing at a really good clip. And I should have mentioned that the other thing I noticed at the Arbonne meeting that night is that there were very few men. And it just made sense to me that this is a growth opportunity with other men. Our products are consumable products. We have skincare, nutrition, personal care, and makeup. And the genius of it is people use these products and then they reorder. So I was just figuring out with my girlfriend today, Linda, how many products I use, and it came out to 20. And I was surprised because when I met Linda, I probably used 6 or 7. But the point is that we all use these products, and then we have to reorder. These products are also amazing. They are botanically based. They're the best of nature and the safest of science. They are formulated on a European model, which means that in Europe, they ban about 1,300 chemicals from being used in their products. In the United States, we ban about 13. And so, as you might imagine, the quality and the safety of these products is something that is very attractive. I didn't know this about personal care products, that our skin is the largest organ on our body, and that anything we put on our skin, we absorb. And so with all these harmful chemicals, we're absorbing them constantly when we're using these products. And with Arbonne, we know that these are safe, and we can be assured that the products that we're using are safe. And this starts to show, a lot of people come to these products having had bad experiences with other products precisely because of these chemicals. And they're delighted to find out that when they use Arbonne products, a lot of their problems clear up. We don't make these guarantees, but it's just the experience of many people in our business. They're vegan certified, kosher, non-GMO, gluten-free, soy-free, whey-free, and dairy-free. As I said, there are no chemical dyes, fragrances, or artificial sweeteners, and we do not test on animals, nor will we ever. They're free of parabens, which are linked to breast cancer, free of mineral oil and petroleum products, sodium lauryl sulfate, phthalates, and other hormone-disrupting chemicals. So once I learned about what was in my personal care products, I can't use them anymore. And so I'm just really happy to have these really high quality products that work. And I should also add that I use eye cream every day now, and I think it works. So our business model is network marketing, which is word of mouth. I'm going to switch slides here. Yeah. Some people call it social marketing now. Either way, it's a word of mouth, recommendation driven business model. As you can see from the slide, we're cutting out the wholesaler, warehouse, Salesforce retailers, or the middleman, and the independent consultant replaces all of those modes of business, and it reduces cost, it increases efficiency, and it allows Arbonne to give us money, give us a share of the money that we make when we direct people to buy from Arbonne's website. And in fact, that's what's really changed about network marketing is the invention of the internet, and it's a completely digital-based franchise. So what that means in practical terms is that we don't have to carry inventory, which is awesome. So when people want to shop, they just go to a website. The interface is much like Amazon, and they just choose what they want, and it's shipped to their home. I meant to take these slides out, so I'm going to skip to this one. The model is very simple, and this is what I love. Stop, start, and share. We stop buying these products in the retail stores. Often, many of them are harmful to us anyway. But in any case, we just stop buying products from the retail stores and we start buying them from ourselves. We start sharing the Arbonne products with other people, and we teach them to shop from their own stores. And it's really that simple. It can be a little confusing at first to understand how that works, but when you sign up for Arbonne, you get your own website that's run through the Arbonne interface, where you can direct people to so that they can buy in several ways. They can buy as a client, as a preferred client, or they can buy as a consultant. The other thing I want to point out about our business model is the idea of time leveraging. My whole life I had been trading time for money, and that was not working for me anymore. Time leveraging is the idea that when I introduce somebody to this business and they start shopping, and they introduce somebody to this business and they start shopping, suddenly we're magnifying our work and we're leveraging our time, so that when I spend, say, 10 to 15 hours a week on Arbonne and I have somebody else who does the same, I essentially get credit for those hours, and I'm putting in my time plus their time, and it's all building the same business. And it's a pretty remarkable model in that way. Essentially, we create a network of consumers, what we might call collaborative commerce. And I might also add that each product that we buy becomes a business expense. So we're creating business expenses that we can write off at the end of the year. But it is an effort-based business. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. So yeah, as I said, you start with you, and you just share Arbonne with other people. There are plenty of ways to do that. The people that invited you to this meeting, or maybe you're watching this later, you can ask the person that introduced you to Arbonne about how to do this. But it's very easy when you learn about the business and you start talking about it, and you just bring people to it. And if it works for them, great. And if not, great. Maybe they know someone, and so on and so forth. And pretty soon you have a network of consumers that starts to give you residual income. So our compensation plan is really good. You can look at other, well, I'm not going to say it's just very good. So you can look around and see, but ours is very simple. We have 4 levels of success: district manager, area manager, regional vice president, and national vice president. Excuse me. District manager level takes on average 7 months to attain. I became a district manager in 2 months, and many people do the same. And you have an average monthly income of $278. Now, this can vary quite a bit depending on the volume of products that are moved through your store. The next level is an area manager, and you average about $1,300. It takes roughly 21 months to achieve. This is where it gets really exciting. I have two sons, two teenagers, and the idea of having a willable business is something that's very meaningful to me. So I can will this business to them, and they can decide to do the business, or they can just inherit the network of consumers that I've created. Now, what other business does that? I don't know of any. And so it rewards us for building this network of consumers for Arbonne, and then it lives on beyond us. And I just think that is a really amazing perk. The regional vice president level is when the money becomes life-changing. The average is $5,300, but a lot of people are able to move on from maybe a job that they don't like and do Arbonne full-time. You also get the car bonus. Arbonne gives you $800 a month to rent a white Mercedes rent or buy. And you don't have to use it all, but you have an $800 budget to get this car. My girlfriend has one, and it's pretty amazing. So I can't wait to get my own. The national vice president level is when the money gets zip code changing. You get an average of $21,000 a month, but there's no cap. So you can continue to build this network forever and continue to increase your monthly income. They also give you a $1,000 Mercedes bonus. So you can get more accessories or whatever, or you can just pocket the extra money. But it's quite amazing. I just want to say that two things about this. I forgot to say that I told you that I was a novelist. I'm still a novelist. I didn't replace my novelist business, such as it is, with Arbonne. It is in addition to what I love to do. And so Arbonne is what allows me to continue to pursue my novel writing. And it can be the same for you. We're not saying to give up what you are doing if you love it, or to give up your dream. In fact, this is a time when we create our dreams, or we find our dreams again, and we start living them, because Arbonne gives us a way to do that. I have met the smartest, most amazing people in this company. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Another thing about that meeting, when I first went to the Arbonne meeting, I was so impressed with the people there. They're smart, they're generous, they're loving. When I came into Arbonne, I was cynical. I had been teaching for years. I was burned out, and the light in these people's eyes and the joy with which they do this business really stuck with me. And I was taught a long time ago if you want to be successful, be around successful people. Well, they're here. They're in Arbonne, and you go to a meeting here and you see a lot of very successful people who don't necessarily need to be at that meeting, but who are there because they believe in this company so much and they really want to help other people get it. And that was very meaningful to me. In closing, I just wanted to ask the question again. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Is what you're doing today going to get you where you want to go? What asset are you building? Do you have multiple streams of income? Arbonne is a means for all of these things. And my closing message to you is to find your passion and rediscover your dream, and jump in to the Arbonne journey with us, and let's get it done. So thank you for being here. I really appreciate you showing up, and I just want to announce that next month's speaker on March 20th will be Luke Huntington. So he's a regional vice president, and he's the son of my national vice president, Linda Huntington. So again, thank you for coming, and have a great night.